With glorious architecture, fascinating history, superb art, and mouth-watering food, Rome is one of the most exciting cities in the world, and one that you have to visit at least once in your life. In this video, we'll show you what to do in Rome in 4 days, for a trip that you will never forget. Packed with charms and treasures, Rome is one of those places that you will want to visit more than once. Whether you're about to visit Rome for the first time, or planning a second or even a third trip to the Italian capital, this 4-day Rome itinerary offers the perfect combination of sightseeing and capturing the essence of a city like no other. If you're planning to see Rome in 4 days, it's best to start with a visit to the city's most famous archaeological site, the Colosseum Archaeological Park. The park includes some of Rome's most recognizable landmarks, such as the Colosseum, the Palatine Hill, and the Roman Forum. You can use the same ticket to visit all three on the same day. For a unique experience, consider seeing the wonders of the Colosseum Archaeological Park on a guided tour that will let you in on the secrets of the sites you are visiting. You can find the links to some of the best guided tours in Rome in the description below. The Colosseum is the largest amphitheater in the world. Its official name is the Flavian Amphitheater. In its heyday, the Colosseum was used as a site for public executions and bloodthirsty performances, such as staged animal hunts and battle reenactments. Nowadays, the most fascinating thing to do in the Colosseum is to book a tour of the underground area and the arena. After the Colosseum, it makes sense to visit Palatine Hill, the oldest part of ancient Rome. In this open-air museum, you will wander among the ruins of imperial houses and catch breathtaking views of the Roman Forum. The Roman Forum is probably the most spectacular archaeological site in Rome. It's where the heart of ancient Rome used to beat, a political, religious, and social hub like no other. It may seem like a bunch of old columns and stones now, but imagine that this used to be a mall of sorts, the ultimate meeting point and place to be. After all those exciting tales of emperors, gladiators, and slaves, relax and unwind with a stroll along the magnificent Via dei Fori Imperiali, home to the impressive Trajan's Forum, among others. Via dei Fori Imperiali ends in Piazza Venezia, where the Vittoriano stands in all its glory. Often nicknamed the wedding cake or the typewriter, Romans either love it or hate it. At the nearby Palazzo Venezia, you can see the balcony from where Mussolini used to address the Italian people. Since you are here, don't miss the chance to visit Capitoline Hill, one of the 7 hills of Rome. Ascending the gorgeous Cordonata, a monumental staircase designed by Michelangelo that leads to Piazza del Capitolio, feels like stepping inside a Roman dream. Finish your first of 4 days in Rome with a stroll around the eternal city streets, until your feet take you to the ultimate dream of a fountain, the picture-perfect Fontana di Trevi. Rome offers travelers the unique opportunity to visit a state within a city. The Vatican City State is the smallest country in the world and the most sacred place for Catholics across the globe. A day spent in the Vatican means a day spent marveling at countless masterpieces of art in St. Peter's Basilica, the Vatican Museums, and the Sistine Chapel. We highly recommend booking one or more guided tours to visit the Vatican, as this explosion of art and information can be a bit overwhelming. You can find the links to some of the best tours in the Vatican in the description below. Built over the tomb of St. Peter the Apostle, St. Peter's Basilica is the largest church in the world. Many prominent artists and architects worked on the basilica, including Bramante, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Bernini. Some of the most impressive works of art inside the basilica are Michelangelo's Pietà and Bernini's Baldachin. Entry to St. Peter's Basilica is free, but you should expect very long queues. To avoid them, consider booking a guided tour of the basilica. Our top recommendation is to book a tour that grants access to the spectacular dome and the crypt of St. Peter's Basilica. Climbing St. Peter's Dome is an experience you will cherish for life. Take a lift up to the first level of the dome to admire the basilica's mosaics. Then, it's time to climb to the top of the dome. Keep in mind that it takes more than 300 steps to get to the top, and that some of the staircases are quite narrow and claustrophobic. However, the spectacular views of the entire Vatican City estate are absolutely rewarding. Upon exiting St. Peter's Basilica, don't walk away immediately. Take a moment to appreciate the beauty of the massive St. Peter's Square, a stunning open space designed by Bernini. You probably think that you've seen enough art for one day. The answer is no, you haven't. The best is yet to come. Apart from St. Peter's Basilica, a visit to the Vatican museums is one of the top things to do in Rome. However, before you go on to visit the Vatican museums, take a much-needed lunch break and get prepared to witness some of the world's most superb art. The Vatican museums are among the most visited art museums in the world, and for good reason. Don't miss the 4 Raphael rooms with the famous The School of Athens fresco, the gallery of maps, the beautiful courtyards, and the impressive spiral staircase at the exit. Of course, the highlight of the Vatican museums is the Sistine Chapel with Michelangelo's ceiling frescoes. However, filming isn't allowed inside the Sistine Chapel, and that's why you can get a sneak peek at it in this video. End your day in the Vatican with a stroll along the Tiber and watch in awe as the setting sun dyes Castel Sant'Angelo in all shades of red, pink and orange. Spend your third day in Rome wandering around the most quintessentially Roman landmarks, feeling La Dolce Vita in the air. Piazza di Spagna is one of the most iconic spots in the Italian capital. Climb up the Spanish steps to the Trinità dei Monti Church and enjoy the view of Rome's dreamy skyline as you make your way toward the stunning Villa Borghese. The most popular park in Rome, Villa Borghese, is a landscape garden with gorgeous buildings, museums, and other attractions. You can spend from a couple of hours to a full day there, depending on what you want to see. However, even if you don't have enough time to visit Galleria Borghese, one of the best art museums in Rome, make time for a stroll around the park and don't miss the romantic lake with the Temple of Aesculapius. Before you leave the park of Villa Borghese behind, head to Terrazza del Pincio for breathtaking views of Piazza del Popolo and the city of Rome beyond. Piazza del Popolo is among the grandest squares in Rome, and the nearby Via Margutta is one of the quaintest streets in the city. How about a pit stop for a quick lunch at this point? The legendary Pastificio Guerra is Italian pasta at its best and cheapest. Enjoy your takeaway pasta and wash it down with a scrumptious piece of tiramisu before you continue your walk to Piazza Colonna and the iconic Pantheon. Here, a quick stop for a cup of coffee near the Pantheon at either Tazza d'Oro or Sant'Eustachio, 2 of the city's most famous cafes, is mandatory. After the Pantheon, walk to Largo di Torre Argentina, the very spot where Julius Caesar was assassinated. Yet history is not the only reason to visit this place. To our utter surprise and joy, we found out that this archaeological site is home to a cat sanctuary that provides shelter and a better life to hundreds of Roman cats and kittens. Of course, we couldn't leave without spending some time with these cute little furballs first. It's now time to visit one of Rome's most authentic neighborhoods, picturesque Trastevere is where the heart of Rome beats, especially in the evening. Have a look at the beautiful church of Santa Maria in Trastevere before jumping on bus number 115 from Trastevere to Gianicolo Hill. Once there, grab a beer, sit back, and marvel at Rome's skyline as the day gives way to the night. And just like that, you're waking up to your last day in Rome, a day reserved for some famous places to visit, but also some of the city's lesser-known gems. Why not start this special day at what's reportedly the prettiest square in Rome? No matter what time of day you pass by Piazza Navona, you're going to love it. However, early in the morning, you get the feeling that you have all this beauty to yourself. A stone's throw from Piazza Navona, Campo dei Fiori is a lively square that used to be a meadow in the Middle Ages. Nowadays, it's home to a lively market where you can buy flowers and local products. Once you're done shopping, or simply people watching, make your way to one of Rome's best-kept secrets, the Jewish Quarter. The Jewish ghetto of Rome was established in 1555. You can taste local delicacies at one of many traditional restaurants there, or take a stroll around the portico of Octavia and the archaeological site of the Theatre of Marcellus. And now to the most exciting moment for the day. Get ready to cross Ponte Fabrizio, the oldest bridge in Rome, and enjoy a scenic stroll around the boat-shaped Isola Tiberina. Your next stop is the Circus Maximus. On your way there, place your hand inside the mouth of truth, if you dare. The Circus Maximus was an ancient Roman stadium for chariot races. Nowadays, it's a magnificent public space to enjoy on a sunny day. It also hosts musical concerts and other shows. A 15-minute walk later, you will reach the final major sightseeing destination on your 4-day Rome itinerary and one of the best off-the-beaten-path places to visit in Rome, the Baths of Caracalla. Wandering around the remains of Rome's second-largest Roman public baths is a unique experience that makes your imagination run wild to times gone by. You will be amazed at how well preserved some parts of the baths are. Speaking of well-preserved monuments, walk to the pyramid of Caius Cestius to marvel at one of Rome's best-preserved ancient buildings. What better way to end your trip to Rome than savoring the sunset in the heart of a gorgeous garden with mesmerizing scents of orange blossoms? The Giardino degli Aranci boasts spectacular views of Rome's skyline. A quick note here. On your way to the Giardino degli Aranci, you can make a stop to peer through Rome's most famous keyhole, Il Buco della Serratura, but only if you have enough time to wait in the long queues. If not, head straight to the Giardino degli Aranci to watch the sunset over the city that was meant to steal your heart forever. For a more detailed version of our 4 days in Rome itinerary that includes a complete travel guide to Rome, useful tips, and some of our favorite places to stay, eat and drink in Rome, visit www.itsalltriptome.com or find the link in the description below. If you are currently planning your trip to the Italian capital, you can book your hotel and check out the best guided tours in Rome by clicking on the links in the travel resources section you will find in the description below. Last but not least, we have created for you the best 4-day Rome itinerary in PDF form. You can download it alongside a useful map with all the points of interest in the city by clicking on the link in the description below. Ancient Romans called Rome the Eternal City because they believed that no matter what happened, Rome would go on forever. So will our love for the Italian capital, a city we'll never stop going back to. Arrivederci, Roma! If you enjoyed our video about what to do in Rome in 4 days, please like, comment and share it. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.